Well, hello, Riverview. Pastor James here. In the midst of these crazy and unpredictable times, I want to talk for a few minutes today about control. Control is simply the power to influence. And I think we kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to control. We think about control when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to our relationships with other people, when it comes to our circumstances. It kind of goes back and forth when we think about control. You think about yourself for a moment. It's generally seen as a good thing when we exercise self-control. And so if we have control of our emotions or our words or our appetites, that's seen as a positive thing. Someone who is out of control, not so much. It's more like a negative thing. On the flip side, in our relationships with other people, too much control, I think, is seen as a negative. Someone describes you as a controlling person, that's not a compliment. If you're a controlling boss or a controlling spouse or a controlling parent, that's not seen as really a positive thing. In our circumstances, control kind of goes back and forth. There's some circumstances we have control over, some that we do not. On Sunday, I had the perfect plan in the morning. I was going to get up and go and get breakfast for my wife, breakfast in bed for Mother's Day. I go out in the garage and there's a flat tire on my car, completely out of my control. On Tuesday, I'm leading a staff meeting at Riverview. There's like 50 people. It's this big Zoom call. My computer shuts down, just stops, completely out of my control. And I think in the midst of this pandemic season that's lasting more like months than weeks, there's a lot of this feeling of being out of control, isn't there? I mean, our schedules, there's just our daily routines, maybe your vocation, your finances, your future, all those things, just things that we've missed. We were planning on doing, going to an event or visiting someone or whatever that might be. Just in the last month, I've had a bunch of people call me and tell me about their wedding plans, just completely in disorder. And could you help figure out a plan B? Imagine your wedding that you've planned so much for and the big days, and then everything gets flipped upside down. Even just thinking about the virus itself, there's people who are getting sick, and being in the hospital is such a helpless feeling, isn't it, when you're out of control? And then people that have lost loved ones. There's just so much happening. How do you handle those circumstances where things go outside of your control, when life seems to be spinning out of control? I mean, we're seeing lots of different kinds of responses, aren't we? We're seeing anger and pride and fear and anxiety. You may have seen floating around on social media, there's an article that talked about how Michigan was the #1 state in terms of tweets that contain content about anxiety and depression during this pandemic. This is a huge issue. There's just a variety of different responses that we can have, right? Now, the Bible has a lot to say about control, and there's lots of different places that we could turn to find wisdom. The one I've been spending some time reflecting on recently is here in Isaiah chapter 40. In verse 27, it says this: "Jacob, why do you say, and Israel, why do you assert, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my claim is ignored by my God?" Now let me translate this question for you. What's really being asked is, Jacob and Israel, why are you asking this question of God? Really, where are you, God? Don't you see me, God? Don't you hear me, God? Things are kind of spinning out of control here, God. Where are you? Are you aware of all this? Can you hear us, God? That's kind of the flavor of Isaiah 40:27. And I just love Isaiah's response here in verse 28. He says, "Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the whole earth. He never becomes tired or weary, and there is no limit to his understanding." Now, the word that best kind of describes what Isaiah referred to here in verse 28 is the word sovereign. God is sovereign. Sovereign means in possession of ultimate power. Remember, control is the power to influence, right? God is in complete control. Have you not heard? Do you not know that God is in control? He is everlasting. He created everything. He never gets tired, right? He keeps influencing our world and our lives day after day after day. And there's no fatigue. There's no end to the energy, the power that God has. And here's the thing that strikes me the most in the next verse. It's not that God is detached or distant and sort of this all-powerful way far away from us. No. In verse 29, it says, He gives strength to the weary and strengthens the powerless. Those who trust in the Lord will renew their strength. In other words, those of us who are feeling like we've lost control, those of us who are exhausted, we're weary, we're powerless, He gives us strength. What is strength? It's power. Those who trust in the Lord, He will renew their strength. What Isaiah's words here are saying is God doesn't promise that He's going to flip our circumstances all around. Just because He isn't doing that doesn't mean He doesn't hear us or that He doesn't see us. What He promises is that He will strengthen us. He says, remember who I am. I am sovereign, and trust me. I will be the one to give you strength. And let me add just one little PS, because I've been thinking about this all day as well. Here in John chapter 13, Jesus is, it's towards the end of Jesus' life. And it says in John chapter 13:3, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given everything into His hands. He had all power. He was in complete control. It says He knew that He had come from God. He was going back to God. Jesus was in full command here. And if you know John 13, what does Jesus do? He takes the towel from around His waist and He fills the basin with water and He washes the feet of His disciples. He serves. He humbles. He cleanses. And then He says, if I, the Lord, do these things, so should you. And I think that's our opportunity. That we have a choice of how we're going to respond to these unusual and sort of disorienting circumstances where things are just kind of thrown off kilter and we're sort of trying to grasp for control. What we can do, we can trust the Lord and know that He'll give us strength, and we can serve. We can lean in and love others as the Lord has loved us.